extremely loving and robust, but smaller audience, so don't kill yourself. But if you can, put in the chat box suggestions of obscure magazine titles, and they can be real or fictional. An example of real one would be Cat Fancy. It's not that obscure, but that's a very specific demographic that reads Cat Fancy. Imagine the type of people who subscribe to this magazine. So Cat Fancy is a real one. I also searched a list of like weird magazines. There was something called Potato Review. This is for potato farmers, or I guess potato enthusiasts. So if that could be a real one, your fictional ones could be in the same vein. So as I continue to set up this next piece, please put it in the chat box, any real or fictional magazine titles. Okay, now let's keep up. Mike and Susan, please. Mike and Susan, leave your cameras on. Everybody else can take a rest for half a second. And we are going to set these two characters up on a date. Now, these two characters are going to be built on your suggestions of magazine subscription titles. So we'll go to Susan first in a second, and we're going to give her one of these specific magazine titles. She'll then have to immediately create a character based on that suggestion. So her character is going to be informed by the type of person who would subscribe to this and read it cover to cover, including every editorial note, every advertisement, everything in it. This person is obsessed with X magazine. We'll do the same thing to set up Mike with a separate one, then we'll throw him on a date. So the first thing for Susan, oh, I love it. You subscribe to something called Nun's Life. So I don't know if that's real or fiction, to be honest with you, but Nun's Life. So that's your occupation, but I have no idea what kind of character you're going to be. Mike, okay. You subscribe to something called Cheeky Short Stories. So it's a collection, I imagine, an anthology of short stories. But the key word there that'll give you something playable, Mike, is cheeky. So whatever your description of cheeky is, I want to see you create that character. Now, these two, this is excellent, guys. Thank you in the box. We got the suggestions for that one. Now, Susan's character, Mike's character on a date. They've talked, online a few times. They've seen each other virtually in video, but now they're on their very first date. And they're an hour into their date. They've had wine and food or whatever if they do, and they now have formed opinions about each other. And we're going to drop in right to the middle of their date and see where it's going. Whether it's going well or it's going poorly, this is the highlight. This is the climax of the date. We're going to drop in and see this person from Nun's Life and from Cheeky Short Stories. Give them a lot of love. Yay! Lights up.
But Barbara, I love kids. They're so honest. I mean, kids are great.
Yeah. Kids are good. Kids are Okay, I'm just going to let you know right now, Angelo, that I am not having children ever.
Well, we can adopt. I mean, that's what that would bring us together. We can, yeah. What do you mean? I want children.
Whew, geez, I kind of wish I had known this before. I try to live a good life and to be forthright with people, and I'm feeling a little misled here.
Misled? I mean, I showed you pictures of kids. What do you think that was about? I mean, I said, I like these little people.
And both of you go much further with your characterization. Susan, go much further with your wholesomeness or angelic or whatever you're playing. Mike, much further with cheeky, whatever that means to you, and make it risque or make it flirtatious or playful. But both of you go further. Continue.
I probably should have mentioned this before, Angelo, but I'm a virgin and I plan on staying one until the very day I die.
Well, we can touch our bodies. I mean, we don't have to do anything like a real thing, but we can get really close and together. I mean, that's as good as anything.
What?
That is a sin against God.
Not rubbing against each other, that's fine. We do that in the subway.
Oh, God.
I drive by myself everywhere.
Well, I can drive next to you. That's okay. we can just touch. Just touch. That's all we need to do. Hold hands. Things like that, like other people.
That's how it starts, with just a touch.
That's my point.
Okay, and blackout. Yay! Good. Excellent, you guys. So I love this, particularly the second half of that. Once you get sort of emotionally involved and there's bigger stakes to it, it becomes a lot more dynamic, a lot more engaging. Excellent. Well done.